Okay, as discussed in the previous pages, in the textbook, it's page number 76. Okay, a few more pages are pending. We will discuss that and complete. Okay, so can anyone of you recollect what we have discussed till now related to previous pages related to yellow wallpaper? It's about a protagonist, a woman, okay, who suffers depression after delivery of her daughter. Okay, her husband and also her brother, both are doctors. They suggest her to confine herself within four walls of the room. So the in this context, the husband tries to change the place of their locality. They rent a particular colonial mansion for 3 months, okay, at a distant place away from their home. Okay, though this protagonist, the wife, does not likes it, she is forced. She does not have any option. She is involved in critical writing, literary writings. Okay, her husband and even her brother has suggested her not to involve herself in any kind of literary activities. Okay, when she is confined within four walls of that colonial mansion, she feels very much frustrated. Okay, the only attraction or the only attention that she has towards the wallpaper that is pasted on the wall in that particular wallpaper or the drawing in that wallpaper, she feels that there is movement in that. Okay, she keeps mentioning about that, how these movements keep changing in sunlight and even in moonlight. And later she realizes, as she continues to keep on watching those lines, she feels that there is a woman. Why are these lines moving? Is because these lines are nothing but a woman in that picture who is moving. Okay, and in between she has her cousins visiting her. Got it? And then we'll continue. He asked me all sorts of questions too. Page number 76 in your textbook. And pretend to he acts so sleeping under the paper for 3 months. So what she's trying to say is the apprehensions that she has towards that wallpaper, it's not only she is experiencing, even her cousin is experiencing that, and even her husband is experiencing that. But they are pretending as if they are not experiencing. That is what she is saying. Still, I don't wonder he acts so, sleeping under this paper for 3 months. It only interests me, but I feel sure John and Jenny are secretly affected by it. John is the name of her husband, Jenny, a cousin. Hooray, this is the last day, but it is enough. John is to stay in town overnight and won't be out until this evening. John, being a doctor, at times he will have night shifts. Okay, say wallpaper is stuck. Jenny wanted to sleep with me. The slide. So this is the last day in a room, and Jenny insists that she wants to accompany her, but she only refuses. That was clever. For really, I was not alone a bit. As soon as it was moonlight and that poor thing began to crawl and shake the pattern, I got up and ran to help her. I pulled and she shook. I shook and she pulled. And before morning, we had peeled off yards of that paper. She's talking about the woman in that yellow wallpaper. A about half at me, I declared I would finish it today. We go away tomorrow, and they are moving all my furniture down again to leave things as they were before. Jenny looked at the wall in amazement, but I told her merrily that I did it out of pure spite at that vicious thing. So now they are making change of the, they're moving away the furniture because they are relocating to their native, to their home. Okay, she's talking about that. And the next day morning, Jenny looks at the wallpaper, which was stripped off the previous night. She laughed and said she wouldn't mind doing it herself, but I must not get tired. How she betrayed herself that time. But I am here and no person touches this paper but me, not alive. She tried to get me out of the room. I was too patent. It was too patent. But I said it was so quiet and empty and clean now that I believed for dinner, I would call when I woke. So since it was the entire night, she was sleeping in that particular room alone. Okay. And that morning also she wants to sleep because that's the last day that she's going to sleep in that room as they're relocating to their home. So she insists Jenny not to wake her up till dinner. Only at the time of leaving, she wants Jenny, her cousin, to wake her up. So now she is gone and the servants are gone and things are gone and there is nothing left but the great bedstead nailed down with the canvas mattress we found on it. We shall sleep downstairs tonight and take the boat home tomorrow. I quite enjoy the room. Now it is bare again. How those children did care about here. This bedstead is fairly ignored, but I must get to work. I have locked the door and thrown the key down into the front path. I don't want to go out and I don't want to have anybody come in till John comes. So she prefers to be aloof, isolated. She does not want any disturbance. Now all the furnitures are taken, okay, or packed. Okay, she feels more comfortable in living in that room, which is empty, almost empty, except the cot and the bed. I want to astonish him. I've got a rope up here that even Jenny did not find. If that woman does what the woman inside the picture on that yellow wallpaper. But I forgot, means with the rope she wants to tie up so that there will not be another movements. But I forgot I could not reach far without anything to stand on. This bed will not move. I tried to lift and push it until I was lame and then I got so angry. Then I peeled off all the paper I could reach standing on the floor. It sticks horribly and the pattern just enjoys it. All those strangled heads and bulbous eyes and waddling fungus growths just shriek with derision. Means while she's staring, it is making noise. She feels that the pictures in that yellow wallpaper is making noise out of pain when she's tearing it apart. I'm getting angry enough to do something desperate. To jump out of the window would be admirable exercise, but the bars are too strong even to try. Okay, she's so frustrated listening to those noises. She intends to jump out of the window, but she can't break those bars. Besides, I wouldn't do it. Of course not. I know well enough that a step like that is improper and might be misconstrued. I don't like to look out of the windows even. There are so many of those creeping women and they creep so fast. Even outside the window, she finds many people, many women, and she feels uncomfortable about it. I wonder if they all come out of that wallpaper as I did. See, if you recollect, in the earlier part, she says that Colonial Mansion is very much isolated. She does not find any people moving around. Now, on the last day, when she watches outside the window, she finds many people around. She thinks that many women who are inside the wallpaper have come outside and they are moving around the Colonial Mansion. But I am securely fastened now by my well-hidden rope. You could not get me out in the road there. I suppose I shall have to get back behind the pattern where it comes night, and that is hard. It is so pleasant to be out in this great room and creep around as I please. All these days she used to feel frustrated being all alone inside the room. On the last day, she does not want to leave that room. She feels that if she is left alone in that room, she will be very happy. She does not want to mingle with people. That's why she says, I don't want to go outside. I won't even if Jenny asks me to. So now she's got so addicted to that yellow wallpaper, she do not want to see anything apart from yellow. Outside it is green because of nature. But here I can creep smoothly on the floor and my shoulder just fits in that long smooch around the wall, so I cannot lose my way. Why? There is John at the door. It is no use, young man, you can't open it. How he does fall and pound. Now he's crying for an axe. It would be a shame to break down that beautiful door. She has locked herself inside. And her husband John is crying, calling her. She is not responding. Now John is asking his assistant for an axe so that they can break open the door. It would be a shame to break down the beautiful door. John dear, said I in the gentlest voice, the key is down by the front steps under a plantain leaf. She has locked herself and she has thrown the key away. That silenced him for a few moments. Then he said very quietly, open the door, my darling. I can't, said I. The key is down by the front door under a plantain leaf. And then I said it again several times, very gently and slowly, and said it so often that he had to go and see, and he got it, of course, and came in. He stopped short by the door. So finally, her husband John finds the key where she has thrown. What is the matter? He cried. For God's sake, what are you doing? I kept on creeping just the same, but I looked at him over my shoulder. I've got out at last, said I, in spite of you and Jane, and I pulled off most of the paper, so you can't put me back. So she says, I've torn all the paper. Now you can't put me back again. Now, why should that man have fainted? But he did, and right across my path by the wall, so that I had to creep over him every time. So she has a continuous, mixed match reality. Okay, I've got out at last, said I, in spite of you and Jane, and I've pulled off most of the paper, so you can't put me back. Then she has torn the entire or almost most part of the yellow wallpaper that is stuck on the wall. And she says, in spite of you and Jenny insisting me not to do anything, I've torn. Now, why should that man have fainted? But he did, and right across my path by the wall, so that I had to creep over him every time. So she has that mixed match of the imagination of what is inside the picture on the yellow paper and what is happening. Physically, he faints looking at the stature of his wife and what she has done to the yellow wallpaper. He faints, okay, and she feels instead of walking, she is creeping. She is moving over his body. Means he is alive. She is moving over through creeping. Okay, so the gist of the story is the kind of mental illness that she had. Okay, she completely could not overcome. Okay, she has mixed feelings. Initially, she says she didn't want to be isolated in that particular room. That yellow color is repulsive, and later she get adjusted to it. The lines or the patterns inside that yellow wallpaper, the drawings, she is not she's not able to make any sense in the initial days. Later, she get addicted to it. Through continuous watching, she feels it's not those lines. Why are those lines moving? It's because of the women. Those lines are drawings are nothing but the women. Since they are moving, even she can feel that sensation. Okay, and the pictures in the yellow wallpaper appear different during sunlight and appear different during moonlight. Okay, she is able to make sense of it, and people moving around. She thinks that the pictures in that yellow wallpaper have become human beings, and that it is those people who are moving around. Okay, on the last day, she locks herself up and throws the key outside the window. And despite her husband insisting her, she does not open the door. And later, she tells her husband where the key is, which is placed under the plantain leaves. The husband goes and gets it. And the moment he opens the door, he faints, looking at her stature. Okay, looking at what she has done to the yellow wallpaper. And instead of crossing her husband, she just creeps over him. Okay, so what you can say here is the rescue treatment. Okay, the treatment that was suggested by her husband and her brother means that she has to isolate herself, not give too much of pressure to her brain, has not worked fully. Okay, even still now, even after 3 months of stay in that isolated room, has not helped her to overcome a psychological problem. Okay, and it's an open-ended story. Close-ended means in movies, climax. Here, there is no climax here. Okay, you never know whether she is completely cured or half cured. And in most of the open-ended stories, the solution is up to the reader. What could have been a better ending? It's up to the reader's interpretation. Okay, because she kept on insisting. Okay, she even tried to convince her husband, saying that isolating me is not going to help me. Instead of that, let me free. Okay, let me roam free. Permit me to write. Permit me to involve myself in literary activities. So that was denied to her. Okay, so she's of the opinion that it has not cured. Okay, it has in fact intensified her situation. Okay.